Hello and welcome to my video, lesson 3.1 on broken line graphs. Well, broken line graph just means that is not going to be a smooth line or a perfectly straight line. It's not going to be smooth, basically, is what you can try to remember. Not smooth. It's going to have jagged edges. Alright, so in this case, what that would look like is we'd have a straight line there, straight line there, straight line there, straight line there. For most of you guys, you're probably just thinking, that looks like a line graph. Well, yeah, it kind of does, but a proper line graph would not have that. A proper line graph would have an average. So maybe, and you generally speaking will eyeball an average. And so maybe about, about there would be a good average. So let's have ourselves some orange color in here. That would be a line graph, the orange line. We call that a trend line. Trend line or line of best fit. So those are the two names for that. Or well, we won't call it slope line. Yeah, no, we won't call it that. So one of those two things. Okay, trend line is the best word for it. But the purple line is a broken line graph. Let's take a look at an example of a broken line graph and how to make one. So here we have Google Sheets. Google Sheets is a really powerful device, just like Microsoft Excel, or Word Excel. No, what is it? Office Excel. There are many other programs that do this sort of thing. But anyways, this is wonderful because it lets us make graphs in a matter of seconds. So here's the question. Sally, the stockbroker, wanted to look at past trends of a tech stock to see when to buy. Given that new devices are launched in the fall, is it best to invest just before or after a launch? So what you do is you select your entire table of values. If you don't have them in here already, you have to type them in. You have to type them in correctly so that they're in nice rows and columns and stuff. Anyways, once you have that, you select your entire set and you insert chart. And look at that, we have a beautiful chart. Now, this is a scatter plot right now. This is not a broken line graph, so what we want to do is, we have to go edit chart. I accidentally deleted that. We need to change this to a line chart. If we go to this customize tab, it will give us lots of options. So one thing is I want to see the dots. I love seeing my dots. So there are dots for each month. The other thing that I like to do is this is our title, or at least it should be. So Control A. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Control A, Control C. So I just copied the title. And now I want to paste this in there as the title. Oh, but we should totally have a shorter title than that. So it's just stock value of a company. The fact that it's over a year is shown by the fact that we have the months of an entire year. And we should have capitals. Oops. It's important to make sure your graphs look nice. They have proper titles, capitalization. You'll notice that our X and Y axes both have nice titles. You know where they came from? Our bolded values over here. So it's important to notice some of those things. If you don't have good titles over there, they're not going to show up here, which means you're going to have to adjust them later. Actually, this one here does not have a capital V. There you go. Now it should automatically adjust, unless it did not, but that's okay. Make this a little bit bigger. Okay, if you go to the Customize tab, you can also add titles in here or adjust them in here. So our vertical one should say stock value with a capital V. So I did not do that very well. And it should actually have our units. So you write the units like this in dollars. Okay, so those are some titles. In the series one, I changed the size of our circle down here. You can also add, so this is where I'm talking about where you can add a trend line. Okay, so you can add a trend line. In this case, it's not important to have a trend line since, well, all stocks, generally speaking, are on an upward trend. Okay, but that's not important. We don't care about that. We're looking at month to month. You can add a legend, and you can change the horizontal and vertical axes. So it could be like vertical axis. I don't want it to be all the way from 0 to 150. I want it to go from 50 to 150 to make a little bit more of a size difference. So let's go 50 to 150. Okay, so now we can see the upper bounds a lot more clearly because it just spread it around. So you can see on our bottom left here that 50 is the lowest amount. So anyways, there are a whole bunch of things you can adjust in there, but this is a broken line graph. And now let's try to answer the question. Given that most new devices are launched in the fall, so that's September, October, November, is it better to invest just before or after a launch? Well, in this case, it looks like it really went up after the launch. So November was the launch. So you want to invest before the launch. So you want to invest sometime in September. And then you would have made a lot of money over those couple months. But it also could be maybe related to something else. So if you look at the data, there might be something else to notice. One thing I'm seeing is that December, around Christmas time, stocks go up. Probably because a lot of people are spending money on presents for other people. And then in January and February, the stock price starts to go down because people have less money to spend, and it climbs back up afterwards. So, I mean, I made up these numbers, so who knows if it's actually true, but hey, that is a possible answer. And so I love graphs because you can learn so much from them. I hope this video helps you understand broken line graphs a little bit better. Good luck!